They see what Ezra Miller is doing right now. We have all seen it. The non-binary individual is nuts, and it is not a safe place for you. What's up, buddy? I hope you're having a good day. But I can tell you who's not having a good day. Everybody involved in this insane Ezra Miller situation, including this beautiful young woman you see right here. I lied. That's actually Ezra Miller, who is neither a man or a woman, is non-binary, is an in-between. And we will struggle to use Ezra Miller's correct pronouns of they and them. Now, as we've been covering on this channel, the good Ezra Miller is currently in a bit of a sticky situation. It's not the right way to refer to it, but that's what the term I've chosen to use. A sticky situation involving a young girl who is currently 18, but who the actor met when she was just 12, which brings to mind words like grooming. And some outlets are dancing around these grooming accusations. I'm going to say right here on this channel, if you met a girl at 12, and the second she turns 18, you take her to Hawaii on a drunken, drug-fueled bender, yeah, you're kind of, that's some textbook grooming, my friend. And we're going to talk about it. Guys, hit that subscribe button because we have breaking developments in this case. Now, I want to be clear. For some reason, a lot of the times when I talk about this actor, Ezra Miller, people are like, who? Never heard of him. Well, he plays the Flash. And how hilarious is it, and we'll get into it, that the Flash actor is currently on the run from the law. The Flash, the fastest man on Earth, is running from law enforcement rather than facing up to these allegations. And Ezra Miller has a huge movie coming up. The Flash movie is coming out at the end of this year. We'll see if it still comes out. I don't know what they're going to do now. But the movie has Michael Keaton as Batman. It has Ben Affleck as a different Batman. It's got a bunch of Batmans. It's a huge movie. And if you're an actor, actress, whatever Ezra wants to call himself, themselves, you should be relaxing, getting ready for press junkets, interviews. You're going to be flying out to China. You got to learn Mandarin to convince all the Chinese people to see the Flash movie. But instead of that, Ezra Miller has again flown to Hawaii to get drunk, fight with cops, and hang out with this girl, Tokata Iron Eyes. Now, this is where this story gets very bizarre. So, this is a indigenous woman, 18 years old, who is from a reservation. I forget the name of the reservation. We'll see it in the story. But the point is, Ezra met her because I believe he was interested. He was doing some sort of advocacy or activism. She is an activist herself, even as a child. I believe they were trying to prevent drilling on tribal lands. So the story is that Ezra, I think, went out there to show support for the indigenous protesters and then meets this 12-year-old girl. Now, I'm willing to say that because she's one of these child activists, that could be above board. Sure, as he goes, it's really great that you're doing activism. If there's any way I can help get the word out, let me know. If there's a campaign, if you want me to tweet something, Instagram, whatever, let me know because I care about your cause. Fine. Then it gets complicated, though, because he strikes up an actual friendship with this girl. Keep in mind, at this time, he's 25, she's 12. So there's more than a 10-year age difference. And I hate to say it, even as a 25-year-old man, I did not want 12-year-old friends. You should not, especially as a Hollywood actor, if you meet young people, if, whatever they are, you don't go, well, let's be the best of friends. You go, no, I respect what you're doing, and we can have a business relationship, and that's the extent of it. Instead, at age 14, he's flying her out to London to be on the movie set with him. Inappropriate. I don't know what's going on there, but regardless, it's inappropriate to be striking up these friendships with young people as an adult Hollywood actor. And now at 18, he says, hey, do you want to come with me on a months-long bender in Hawaii? We'll get drunk and do drugs and God knows what else. She said yes, and now the parents are like, my daughter was convinced to drop out of school by this Ezra Miller. He's convinced her she's non-binary. These are all the parents' allegations. I can't prove it one way or the other, but they say we're worried for our daughter's safety. And as well they should be. We've been watching these videos of Ezra Miller in Hawaii. He's just going around getting drunk, starting bar fights, fighting with cops, getting arrested. It's no place for a young girl to be. And again, I have no evidence that anything sexual has taken place, but if he struck up a relationship with a girl he met at 12, not a good time. But here's the deal. Let's be real. If you're Ezra Miller, if you were any sort of sane individual, you would say, you know what? Because here's what's happened. Let me preface this. Is that on Friday, the parents of this Tokata Iron Eyes woman were granted a protective order against actor Ezra Miller. Now, a protective order, let me see if I can get the exact details on it. But let's see. So the parents have accused Ezra, of psychologically manipulating, intimidating, and endangering the safety and welfare of Tokata Iron Eyes. This order would bar Miller from contacting or harassing the girl or her parents for up to 30 days and stay 100 yards away. So basically, there is a legal court order that says, Ezra, you have to stop hanging out with this girl. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if she's safe. She doesn't have her cell phone. The parents accuse him of taking away her access to all her social media so she can't contact them. And they're basically going, listen, Ezra, I don't know, maybe you guys are the best of friends, or maybe this is some sort of creepy psychopath cult you're starting. But regardless, the court has decided that something about this is concerning. We have a legal order that you need to leave her alone and return her to her family. Or at least to stay away from her family. The girl can go. If she doesn't want to go back to her family, fine. But the court order is saying you are dangerous for her. Now, what would a sane person do? They would say, well, I respect the court. I know I'm not guilty of any untowards behavior. But to respect the court decision, I will allow this girl to leave and we'll sort it out legally. Instead, Ezra Miller has gone completely dark. Is now completely missing. Law enforcement is unable to locate the actor. His whereabouts are unknown, moving around Hawaii so much that they're stuck in a legal limbo situation, and we can't serve them in any place they're in long enough, says Chase Iron Eyes, an attorney and activist. They're flighty, they're avoiding service, and now there's public pressure on them, mounting on them to make a decision, which is very concerning given Ezra's volatile nature. Tokata/Gibson, who's believed to be with Miller at this time, is 18, and tribal regulations still consider the parents as legal guardians. Now, that's interesting because a lot of people were saying there's nothing the parents can do. She's 18, she's a legal adult. If she wants to run around, get drunk, and do drugs with Ezra, that's her right. However, because she lives on a reservation, she is subject to tribal law, which is different from common American law, and under tribal regulations, the parents are still considered her legal guardian. So, what do we do here? I mean, again, here's what I would say, is Ezra, just give up the game. How is this non-binary individual not issued some sort of statement? Okay, if news outlets, and let's be clear, this is finally, after months of Ezra's bad behavior, finally these accusations have gotten crazy enough that it's reached the mainstream news, that they are taking it seriously. We're reading this in Vanity Fair, but I'm seeing it across all news networks. Now, if every news network in the world is saying Ezra Miller violated groomed a 12-year-old, and now that she's turned 18, he has replied with drugs and alcohol and is doing God knows what to her, don't you think you would come out and make your own statement? That you would say, these lies against me are ridiculous. This is someone who I struck up a friendship based with on her professional advocacy. She's going through a tough time, and I wanted to offer my own moral support in her time of loss. I believe she recently lost a friend and is in an emotional state. Sure, that's what I would do. I mean, I wouldn't groom a 12-year-old to start with, but if I was in the situation where I was being accused of it, I would very clearly explain what I think is going on. I would not go, well, I'm above the law. Especially, and let's be clear, this also assumes that me would somehow have a multi-million-dollar blockbuster movie on the way. I would probably take that into account. I would definitely make a statement. I would go to the studio and I would have them craft a statement for me. I would say, let's save this movie. I'm sorry for my insane behavior. Instead, Ezra has disappeared into the ether with this girl. We don't know where she is. We don't know what they're doing. Now, she has been posting tweets, videos, whatever, and here I guess she's going to explain what she thinks is going on. Let's see, Tokata. So, let's pay attention. And I'm going to say, regardless of what she says, I know what Ezra's been doing. We've been watching the videos of him getting drunk in bars. This is not a good situation for this girl, but I just want to see if she's of sound mind and body.
All right. Hi, guys. Hi, folks. I've become aware that some people are saying that my statements were not written by me. I'd like to clarify that they are, in fact, directly from me. Nobody is controlling my Instagram account. I don't have a phone right now out of my own personal conviction. And honestly, it's really distressing that the narrative...
Okay, this is ridiculous. I don't even know if she's all the way there. I wanna hope that she's just kind of being very careful with her words, but the way that she's kind of spaced out and, well, the narrative and my phone, I don't want it for personal reasons. And regardless, girl, you're 18 years old. You're with Ezra Miller, who's currently, I believe, is turning 30 or at something like that. He's a grown-ass man who we've seen these videos of him. He's just getting drunk and fighting with cops and saying insane things. He sounds schizophrenic. They sound schizophrenic. Sorry. This is not a safe situation for you. So maybe you've convinced yourself. See, here's what I'm worried about. Is that I'm worried that there is some sort of sexual thing going on. Because the thing is, the whole idea of this grooming thing is, yes, you meet someone as a young child. Ezra meets this girl when she's 12 years old. Comes into her life. She's probably never interacted with a movie star or whatever else before. And, basically, you kind of start telling them, a young child, you go, you're the most incredible person in the world. There's no one like you. You're the greatest. I love you so deeply. And I'm going to make you a star like me. And we're going to live this fantastic life together. And that's the thing, is you're not forming a relationship based on consent when you're forming with a child, because you're filling a child's head with all these insane ideas. And then they turn 18. And again, you've groomed them into this role to be your child bride or whatever else by filling their head with all your flighty nonsense. And they are unable to see past that to realize this is a toxic, dangerous individual. Because I think if she had met Ezra Miller at 18 without knowing anything about him, without forming this emotional bond and said, this is a guy who just goes to bars and gets drunk and fights with cops, she would not feel as emotionally indebted to him as she is now. That's the thing. You build up these years of trust and rapport with your groomer, and then you start excusing all their bad, toxic, insane behavior. You go, oh, you don't know. You don't understand how incredible he is. When I was 14, he took me to a movie set on London. Well, yeah, because he was trying to form this relationship with you. Again, I have no proof that anything sexual has happened. But if that is what's going on, I mean, this is textbook Stockholm Syndrome, where no matter what Ezra has done, she is going to cover for him.
Of the victim in question is not being granted any trust. I worked really hard to make really clear what was going on. And if the statements are too profoundly contrasting to whatever assumptions those of us have garnered.
I don't want to make fun of this girl because she's a victim, but I hope she's on drugs. Nothing she's saying makes any sense. If you read her statement basically said, my parents are the true abusers in this situation. Ezra Miller is the only one who truly understands me. And now I'm non-binary and I've changed my name to, George or something. This seems like a lost individual, and I hate to say it, her brain seems fried. I don't know if she's on drugs or what. She's not making any sense.
And have chosen to carry. I'd like to say that it's nobody's business and that no one is owed a story.
It is our business. A grown Hollywood actor is grooming you. Like, I'm sorry. We are concerned
life.
As a society.
These are my decisions.
Hmm.
And I'm disappointed in my parents
for caring about your safety. They care. They're worried for you. They see what Ezra Miller is doing right now. We have all seen it. The person, the non-binary individual is nuts, and it is not a safe place for you. I don't want to yell at her because, again, I feel like she's being manipulated by this psychopath into hating her parents and dropping out of school and going on a drug bender with him. But when you say this is my story and you have to believe my truth and whatever else, well, no, because we've seen the truth. Ezra Miller has shown us the truth multiple times in the constant arrests, threatening to kill people, saying he's hunting the KKK and Nazis, which makes absolutely no sense, saying he's making NFT crypto art by fighting with the cops. This is crazy. And again, yes, she said Ezra Miller is my comrade. My parents are manipulative transphobes. All of this story is very troubling and bizarre. And I'm glad the mainstream media is finally talking about it. But honestly, now that Ezra's on the run, this is a guy who scares me. This is a non-binary individual. They scare me. Sorry. This is so hard. I think I like picture Ezra Miller pushing to a corner being like, well, now I'm just going to act out and be violent and do whatever I want because it's all over for me. I don't know what this individual is capable of, but the fact that they have not issued any statement, and that's one thing I wanted to bring up, is that she goes, this is my story. Okay, great. Well, we want to hear Ezra Miller's story then. Tell Ezra Miller to get on Instagram and tell us what's going on. Why does he need to be running around Hawaii getting drunk with an 18-year-old, feeding her drugs and doing God knows what? It's time for him to say something, and it's also time for Warner Brothers to say something. Warner Brothers, this is your star. You're telling us, oh, you're all going to love the Flash movie. You can't wait for it. Well, now I don't want to see the Flash movie because it stars a potential child groomer. So step forward and say what you think about this situation, what's happening with this movie. We're tired of your silence, and you were silent for too long. For months, Ezra Miller has been causing havoc in Hawaii, and you've said nothing. Why have you not intervened? Why have you not sent a crisis counsel there? Get him into treatment, get him into therapy, but lock him up, for God's sakes. This is wildly irresponsible from everyone involved, and it is crazy to me that it has taken this long for the media to finally pick up on this story. Well, guys, I'll tell you who has been with this story since day one. Vito. I've always been here. Go look. I have all my Ezra Miller videos because you have to be concerned. Okay, one instance of bad behavior, okay, maybe it was a fluke. 2 instances of bad behavior, okay, maybe this guy needs to lay off the drinking. This transgender, non-binary individual needs to lay off the drinking. 3 incidences, 4 incidences, grabs an 18-year-old, drags her across country, away from her parents, ignores a court order. This is becoming an actual crisis that someone needs to do something. And sadly, I'm in no position to do anything. The only thing I can do is inform you, the public. So hopefully you can raise hell. If you have social media, let people know. Link to these stories. Let them know what's happening. How is he getting away with this? This is crazy. Please subscribe to the channel. We're gonna keep covering this until hopefully they find this guy, this transgender non-binary individual, and force they to answer for what's going on. This is crazy to me. Crazy. It's nonsense. I'm sick of it. Whatever.